It's go time, ladies and gentlemen. The Houston Texans are about to face the Baltimore Ravens in what I think is a must-win football game. We're going to discuss it next. Let's cue the intro.
It's the city of the dream team. Hakeem, two ring. Beyonce, yeah, me. And I remember hot summer, hot winter. I couldn't fight, so the block.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 713 Houston Sports. It's Mr. 713. Guys, once again, if you want to be a part of a Houston Texans group chat, we're about 39 people deep. I added some people yesterday. I'll add some more tomorrow. If you want to be a part of that, feel free to drop your Twitter in the description, and I will definitely be there. Let's go on to the video, ladies and gentlemen. The Houston Texans face a tough challenge. They face one of the best coaches in the NFL, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, one of the best all-around teams in the NFL, and honestly, it has me worried. It has me worried because the Houston Texans were not prepared game one against the Kansas City Chiefs. Offense was horrible. Even though the defense I thought had a little bit better day, was horrible as well. Special teams wasn't good at all. Coach, as far as I know, the report card for the Houston Texans was an F. The Houston Texans did not play good against the Kansas City Chiefs, and they have to get things going now to be going against the Baltimore Ravens. If you look at what the Baltimore Ravens have, you have to start with a very good but a very hurt and very new offensive line. So you could get to the quarterback. I was on Mr. Joe Lobo's podcast last night. That video will be dropping, but he informed me that the offensive line for the Baltimore Ravens is hurt. So I'm not saying it's going to be a field day for the Houston Texans, but you should definitely try to put pressure on Mr. Lamar Jackson. Mark Ingram was hurt, so expect rookie running back J.K. Dobbins to get most of the carries. He had 2 touchdowns last week. He looked good. So, the Houston Texans are not good against the run. They let Clyde Edwards-Helaire have over 135. Who knows how much J.K. is going to have? Hopefully that changes. As far as weapons, they have one of the best tight ends in the game. Mark Andrews had 2 touchdowns last week. The Houston Texans did shut down Travis Kelce last week, but it's going to be another tough challenge for the Houston Texans to try to stop another very good tight end. They have Hollywood Brown who had a couple touchdowns last week, or I think one at least, or a deep catch. This whole offense for the Baltimore Ravens was just absolutely spectacular last week against the Browns. You could also say the Browns are horrible at defense. Their secondary is god-awful. None of their starting secondary could start on any other team. So, the Cleveland Browns are in a bad spot themselves. Their offense also wasn't good whatsoever. Baker Mayfield is looking like he's just going to be a bust. My fantasy pick, Nick Chubb, was absolutely horrible. Well, not horrible, but he was split in times with Mr. Kareem Hunt. So, overall, the Baltimore Ravens just smacked, the Cleveland Browns. Now, what is going to be different is that the Houston Texans have Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is going to keep us in games, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all know that whatsoever. There was at one point last week we were down 10. If our defense could have made a stop, if our offense would have been flowing nicely like it was in the first 2 drives where we scored, then it would have totally been a different game. But this game is not going to come down to players. It's going to come down to coaching for the Houston Texans and how you win. Last week, coaching was horrendous. I've said it many times. Everybody said it many times. If the Houston Texans somehow find a way to flip the script and actually prepare for the Baltimore Ravens, go through your progressions, go through what you want to run, go and talk to Deshaun Watson and talk to the players what worked well, what did not work well. This is another statement game for the Houston Texans that yet they can compete and they can beat great teams like the Kansas City, like the Baltimore Ravens, and you didn't beat KC, and now you have another opportunity right here against the Baltimore Ravens. I know, throwing out must-wins in week 2 isn't ideal, but this is a must-win if you're a Houston Texans fan because you want to see something from this team. That's what you want to see. And tomorrow's video, I'm going to go more in depth, on the keys to the game, keys to how we beat the Baltimore Ravens. But this is going to be a very tough game for the Houston Texans, a game where I could definitely see us losing, but I could definitely see us squeaking by a win. Week 2 is going to be tough, but the Houston Texans at home, they've had more time to prepare for the Baltimore Ravens than Baltimore preparing for Houston. It's going to be a fun game. I definitely love it. I'm going to give my score prediction tomorrow, but the Houston Texans, this is a must-win game. We're going to discuss tomorrow, but let me know what you guys think, guys. As this kind of an intro video, is tomorrow a must-win? Yes or no? Let me know what you think. As always, guys, I love y'all. Go Texans.